Welcome back to Ghost Pirate Entertainment. I'm your host, Kanan Becker, and today I give you another 10 recommendations on Peacock. And let's get to the list. You Won't Be Alone is a 2022 internationally produced folk horror movie. Written and directed by Goran Slovatsky in his directorial debut, it stars Sarah Klomoski, Anna Maria Marinka, and Numira Pace. In 19th century Macedonia, a young girl is kidnapped, and then transformed into a witch by an ancient spirit. Curious about the meanings of life, she uses her powers to understand humans. This is truly a magnificent movie. It's very much an artistic slow burn full of nuance, but not what most would consider to be scary. Giving us horror through dark, uncomfortable dread with bleak, haunting vibes. It shows you the beauty and ugly in life through human experience. And this is right at the top of my list so far this year. But it won't be for everyone. You need to be patient with this movie. But for fans of dark, dramatic foreign horror, this is absolutely a must-see.
Death's coming.
You can't save me.
Your grandmother, she sees things.
Mercy is a 2014 supernatural horror movie. Directed by Peter Cornwell, it stars Chandler Riggs, Shirley Knight, and Dylan McDermott. And it's loosely based on the 1984 short story Gamma by Stephen King. When two brothers move into their dying grandmother's house, they experience disturbing phenomena that they believe to be the work of an ancient evil witch.
What's this?
So this is another witchy folk horror movie, but this one plays it much more in a traditional horror way. It has some very dark imagery with some gooey special effects, but I would say it's about a medium on the scary scale, nothing too crazy. It's not one to take serious and it's not a perfect movie. So if you don't pick it apart and you just relax into it, it's a lot of fun. So definitely check it out.
I cannot allow us to be killed. We are going to finish the job we started.
Upgrade is a 2018 cyberpunk thriller, written and directed by Lee Winnell and produced by Blumhouse Productions. It stars Logan Marshall Green, Betty Gabriel, and Harrison Gilbertson. The film follows a technophobe who's implanted with a chip that allows him to control his body after a brutal mugging leaves him paralyzed.
What if I told you I could offer you something that would enable you to walk again? I call it STEM, a computer chip that has the potential to change everything. It's a new, better brain.
This movie fucking rips. It's very high tech, but in a really grounded type of way. Like a future that's just down the road from us. And the style and body acting performance by Logan Marshall Green is definitely something to see. This film just feels fresh and original. But it's not a scary movie, it's much more of an intense thriller ride. And it's the kind of movie that made me fall in love with A24. Because they're not always perfect movies, but movies like this and this year's Everything Everywhere All at Once show you what indie filmmakers are capable of if they just get a little support. Because me personally, I would take a movie like this over a Marvel movie any day. So what I'm saying is, if you've never seen this masterpiece, this needs to be the next thing that you watch.
We've been waiting for you, Caroline.
I don't believe. I don't believe. No, I don't believe. It's real. It's all real.
The Skeleton Key is a 2005 Southern Gothic supernatural horror movie. Directed by Lane Softly, it stars Kate Hudson, Gina Rollins, and John Hurt. The narrative follows a New Orleans hospice nurse who begins a job at a plantation home and becomes entangled in a supernatural mystery.
I've seen the room.
No, child, you don't know what you've seen. You see him in the mirrors.
Can't expect me to believe that you see ghosts in your mirrors.
This is really one of my all-time favorite hoodoo, magic, gothic horror movies. Yeah, it's not a perfect movie, and it is dated in some ways, but I still find it to be incredibly entertaining. And the cast is really enjoyable, especially John Hurt, who has to do his whole performance without words, conveying so much fear and emotion through his eyes. This is a twisted, creepy little gem, definitely worth your time.
You are special, Vinny.
Please hurry!
Ooh, the creepiest damn thing.
The Black Phone is a 2021 coming-of-age supernatural horror movie. Directed by Scott Derrickson and written by C. Robert Cargill. It's an adaptation of the 2004 short story with the same name by Joe Hill. It stars Mason Thames, Madeline McGraw, and Ethan Hawke. It's about an abducted teenager who uses a mysterious telephone to communicate with the past victims of his deranged captor.
Don't hang up.
Who are you?
You know all our names.
It doesn't work. Hang it up.
This is another one of my favorites of the year so far, and it wasn't exactly what I was expecting it to be. It's much more of a cerebral, slow burn, but still absolutely chilling. And I've said it before, but I'll say it again, the Grabber deserves to be one of the next great horror icons. Just his look and style and overall creep factor are off the charts. I just think this movie is fantastic and one that all horror fans should see. Prince of Darkness is a 1987 supernatural horror movie. Written and directed by John Carpenter, it stars Donald Pleasance, Victor Wong, and Lisa Blount. So this is the second installment in what John Carpenter calls his Apocalypse trilogy, which began with The Thing in 1982 and concludes with In the Mouth of Madness in 1994. The film follows a group of quantum mechanics students who are asked to assist a Catholic priest in investigating an ancient cylinder of liquid.
There's a weird locking mechanism. Looks like it can only be opened from the inside.
A life form is growing out of prebiotic fluid. It's not winding down into disorder, it's self-organizing.
This might be the most underrated, little talked about John Carpenter film. It's just so unique and has so many elements of a ton of different subgenres of horror. And I love the cast. There's so much fun in this and they just all feel like they gave it their all. And even Alice Cooper gives an outstanding cameo. It's just so fun and definitely worth your time. Your Next is a 2011 slasher horror movie, directed and edited by Adam Wingard and written by Simon Barrett. It stars Sharni Vinson, Nicholas Tucci, and Barbara Crampton. The plot concerns an estranged family under attack by a group of masked assailants during a family reunion.
What is that?
This movie is so savage. So I've said this before and I'll say it again. Sharni Vinson is one of the best heroes from the last 20 years. Very much reminding me of Ripley from the Alien franchise, especially the second Alien movie. It's exciting and brutal with some very graphic, gory scenes. It's a simple story that really focuses on the action, but it does have some great twist to it. It just takes you on an absolutely great ride. This movie has so much style, from the mask to the dialogue. This is an absolute gem. Turbo Kid is a 2015 Canadian sci-fi splatter thriller. Directed by RKSS Filmmaking Group, it stars Munro Chambers, Lawrence Abouf, and Michael Ironside. The plot follows the adventures of the Kid, a teenager comic book fan turned superhero, in the wastelands of an alternate 1997 post-apocalyptic world, where he teams up with a mysterious girl to stop the tyrannical warlord Zeus.
Who exactly are you supposed to be?
Turbo Rider.
This is it, soldier. We have to hit these damn machines with everything we've got. Find them, kill them, and we back their heads on pikes.
This really is one of the most fun movies you'll see, and it throws back to the 90s in such a fun, weird way. It's campy and colorful with tons of gore. It's also wonderfully self-aware. The creators really knew what they were going for. With a tiny budget, this creative team really hit this out of the park. This is a fantastic movie that definitely needs to be on your list.
I've got something I want to play for you.
Oh my god!
Videodrome is a 1983 Canadian sci-fi body horror movie. Written and directed by David Cronenberg, it stars James Woods, Sonia Smits, and Debbie Harry. Set in Toronto, Canada in the early 1980s, it follows the CEO of a small UHF television station, who stumbles across a broadcast of snuff films.
I've been hallucinating for a while, ever since...
What?
First saw Videodrome.
My father helped to create Videodrome. He saw it as the next phase in the evolution of man as a technological animal.
What an absolute masterpiece this movie is. Ever since I saw the latest Cronenberg film, Crimes of the Future, earlier this year, I've been watching and rewatching as many Cronenberg films as I can find. And I gotta say, this is definitely Cronenberg at his very best. His themes and message are so poignant and clear in this. And the pacing and dialogue are wonderfully twisted, masterfully winding their way through to the end. And wow, the body horror special effects are amazing in this movie, showing organic tech in the most uncomfortable, warped ways. This is such a powerful, intense movie, and I highly recommend it.
Something's wrong with me.
Slither.
Slither is a 2006 dark comedy horror movie. Written and directed by James Gunn in his directorial debut, the film stars Nathan Fillion, Elizabeth Banks, and Greg Henry. It's set in a small town in South Carolina that becomes invaded by malevolent alien parasites.
Marriage is a sacred bond, for better or worse.
Much worse.
So to wrap up the list this week, I wanted to pick something really fun. So I picked this bonkers, fucked up little gem. It's gross, uncomfortable, and gory as hell. It's not a movie to take serious at all, but it takes body horror all the way to level 11. Just go with it and let its silly, over-the-topness burrow into your brain. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and enjoy. So real quick, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons, because you guys, your support seriously means so much to me. And if you would like to find out more about becoming a patron, the link is down in the description. Also, if you can leave me a comment down below, let me know what you recommend, because those are a lot of fun to get from you guys, and they actually really help me out, especially if you let me know which streaming service they're on. And like always, thank you so much for watching. Please crush that like button, and remember guys, horror can be fun! If you enjoyed this, click right here for 10 more recommendations. I'll see you guys next time!